Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Alpha Chess, bringing you another video. This time we're going over a game that I played as black, and I hope you enjoy it. The game starts with classic e4, so I respond with e5, as I typically do when I play black. Sometimes I play the French, but I do like e4, e5 quite a bit. Knight to c3, and then we have bishop to b4. So I'm playing a little unorthodox, thinking of little, bringing out this knight, threatening his knight with my bishop. Not stuff I typically play, but also not commonly seen. I think Vienna players aren't really accustomed to this move. I think they're usually accustomed to just bringing the knight out right away. So that's why I played that move. We have him attacking my pawn in the center with knight to f3. I play d6, just solidifying. We have a3, trying to kick the bishop. Bishop captures c3, and d captures c3. So I managed to double his pawns, and this bodes well for me later in the game. Knight to f6, I finally develop at this point, as now I'm not scared of the f4 push because the knight's in the way. So I was patient with my knight, and now I don't have the threat of him pushing, I capture here. All that line's just removed. Bishop to g5. Now he wants to put pressure on my knight. I play knight to d7. That way I don't have to worry about him doubling up on this knight or anything like that, or having to bring my queen out earlier than I want to. Bishop to c4, castles, and b4. So black's in a better position here, and it's all about converting that better position. Queen to e8, just adding another defender to the central pawn, and also breaking this pin. Castles by white. Knight takes e4, just a blunder by white. Better yet was moves like this, just hanging on to the central pawn. And then he attacks the undefended knight, but then you can just trade out. I take the bishop, knight captures knight. Everything's still chilling here for black. Knight to f6, a good move by black, just taking away squares from white. We have rook f to e1. This move doesn't really do much. Black's just in a better position here. I offer to trade bishops, and he declines, and he steps back, and I elect not to capture. I looked it up later. It says the computer says capturing here is fine because you're still doubling up his pawns, but I thought this was a psychological point of our game where I said to myself, I'm not going to play into what he wants. He's going to have to come to me. So I played rook to d8, and after he played rook to e8, e3, now you see what his plan was to double up, but I start threatening his pieces. So I push the knight back, he captures, I capture. And then he's threatening to win a pawn here. So he has two attackers to my one defender. So knight to d5 is a beautiful move. Hitting the rook, defending the pawn, and defending this pawn. So just a beautiful, beautiful move by black. Just a monster knight. And you can't capture because it's the queen. So if you had the queen where the bishop was and the bishop where the queen was, not that impressive. You're just losing a pawn. But because of the way white has his pieces situated right here on this file, this diagonal, just a beautiful move right here for black. This move I thought was also kind of weird. Like, why not enact the pin, So I don't know. I think white was flustered at this point. I had him on the ropes. Queen to f7, just threatening to win a pawn, but it's easily defended with rook to f3, and now I pin his piece, looking to win the rook, but he defends with his queen, and I just capture queens here. You can capture here, but then you run into ideas of both the queen and the bishop are hitting the knight, and now after knight captures, pawn captures, queen captures, you're just losing this pawn. So I just decide, I'm up in material, I'm up, I have a better position, let's trade here. So queen captures, rook captures, and then a nice move again by black, hitting the rook as well as defending this pawn. So a lot of good moves. And then here white plays actually the worst move possible. Rook to g3, giving black a winning tactic. I'll give you a couple seconds just to see it. It's pretty easy. After knight to e2, white just resigned the game. So a really clean game. You know, I felt like in control. As you can see, this bishop never did anything. That psychological game, I don't know. It didn't. I don't feel like it actually worked out for him. And I was able to get rid of this knight that was pestering me by having that bishop there to trade. And then this position right here just gave me a strong center, and my knight was able to kind of dance around here, and ultimately led to me winning the game. So I'm glad you guys are here. If you're new here, subscribe and turn notifications on, because I create informative chess content to help better your play and increase your chess understanding. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you next time.